What's up, YouTube? It's DanRock08 back here giving a review. And today I'm going to review you the Hart and Soul, the Hart Family Anthology DVD. They just came out like Tuesday. And is it a awesome DVD that I would like to watch every day, or is it one of those DVDs that's just made for the collection and will be going on my shelf collecting dust? We'll find out. Like I said, this is another review, and let's get right into it. Is it a blooper reel, or will it be a DVD that I'll be pulling out of my collection all the time and watch it all the time? By the way, this DVD will not be collecting dust. It will be pulling out of the shelf multiple times a day or week, because this DVD is the shit. It is. Seriously. They go so deep in this story that it'll blow your mind. They're so deep. They talk about everyone. They talk about Brett. They talk about Owen. They talk about the brothers-in-laws. They talk the wives. They talk about Diana. They talk about Dean Hart dying. They talk about Wayne Hart, a Hart you don't even know. They talk about Pillman a little bit. They talk about Neidhart. They talk about Stu Hart. They talk about everybody. They talk about the Hart dynasty. Let's get into it. Alright, first chapter is the father, Stu Hart. It talks about him growing up in the city, moving to Calgary, falling in love. It talks about him meeting Helen and them raising 12 kids. The promoter. It starts talking about Calgary Stampede Wrestling. How it was at first a huge success, and then it fails, and then reforms and fails again. The Hart House. They talk about how in the Hart House, how the house to them is like no other house. That house is as much as important as the city. That house is a landmark in Calgary. Riches to rags. It talks about them being spending so much money that eventually became poor. It talks about that the Calgary Stampede starting to fail. All in the family. It talks about Neidhart getting married to one of the Harts. I forgot what's her name. It talks about Bulldog a little bit too. Hart Foundation, the Bulldogs. It talks about the foremost hyped wrestlers in the Calgary Stampede Wrestling got into the WWF. And that's what Stampede Soul talks a little bit more about. Dean Hart. It talks about their brother, Dean, how he was the very first tragedy that they had in the family, how he died. International Spotlight. It talks about how Bret Hart got this international feeling to him. Everyone around the world knew him. Everyone around the world knew who Davey Boy was. The young style rises. Oh, that's about Calgary Stampede younger stars Brian Pillman and Owen Hart making it to the WWF. Family Feud. This is where it talks about Owen Hart versus Bret Hart's rivalry. How it really kind of crushed the Hart's family, but it really actually, it was the starship that launched Owen Hart to superstardom. Canada's family. This is about where the Harts became Canada. Canada was all about the Harts. Bret Hart especially, was voted the #1 citizen in Canada at one point. So he was the most famous. Family tragedy. Like I said, this story goes deep. And this is where it gets so deep, it blow you away. I literally cried in here, in this chapter. Family tragedy is where they talk about Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, Bulldog dying, and then the lawsuits afterwards that came afterwards from Owen Hart's family. It is very emotional in this part, and if you do cry in this DVD, in this chapter, do not be surprised, because it will make you cry. It is literally that deep. At this point in the story, it's very emotional. Alright, special features. That's where they talk about the bonus stuff, and that's why it's so deep. Alright, matches include Keith, Bruce, Brett versus the Kiwis and Dynamite Kid, 6-man tag, 1979. Hart Foundation versus Bulldogs. Bret Hart versus Bulldog, SummerSlam 92. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Bruce Hart, Keith Hart versus Shawn Michaels and his Knights at Survivor Series 93. Bret Hart, Owen Hart versus Rick Steiner, the Steiner Brothers. That's at January 11, 94. I believe that's the Royal Rumble event, I believe. Alright. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, SummerSlam 94. That was a super terrific match they had. Bret Hart and Bulldog versus Owen and Neidhart, 94. Owen versus Bret. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Bulldog, Neidhart, and Pillman versus Austin, Shamrock, Goldust, Legion of Doom. That's at the Canadian Stampede Wrestling In Your House pay-per-view, which is really where that was the high point of the Hart Foundation again. Bret Hart and Owen Hart and Bulldog, and that's basically all the matches. I don't really want to get into too much in the matches. Well, anyway, that concludes basically it. In last words, this DVD is awesome. It truly is one of the greatest DVDs they have ever made in the history. You know what? Screw it. I usually never give a 10, but fuck it. This DVD deserves it. It made me so emotional, so deep. It was just blowing me away. It was awesome. Literally, if you don't have this DVD, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. Get off your ass. If you're watching this DVD, get off your computer, get in your car, go to Best Buy or where the fuck they sell DVDs, and buy Hart and Soul, the Hart Family Anthology, and you get sick with this DVD because it is that damn good. It is the best there is, the best there was, and the best DVD there ever will be. A perfect 10 out of 10 greatest DVD ever made. Without a doubt. Bye.